Hey, I'm Dusti Martin with Platinum Living Realty. Here is your monthly market update for the cities of Cave Creek and Carefree for August 2020. All right, so let's get into it. Our active listings for Cave Creek and Carefree are down 36.7% over this time last year. We're sitting at a total of only 164 listings between the two towns total. Our sold listings are up 19.1% over this time last year, and our median price per square foot is up a whopping 14% year over year from this time last year. We're currently sitting at $231.32 over this time last year. So if you bought a home last summer or last July, congratulations, you've made about 14% return on your money. Our month supply is down, like way down, 46.8%, so almost 50% over this time last year. And our months of supply is currently for both the towns of Cave Creek and Carefree at 1.55 months of supply, meaning well inside the seller's market range. And our median days on market is actually up 18%, and our median days on market is currently sitting at 72 for last month. Now you may be asking, okay, well, if our month supply is down to less than 2 months, why is our median days on market up? And a lot of that has to do with the fact that our inventory in Cave Creek and Carefree is much higher price per square foot and a much higher price point than the rest of the valley. And so when the COVID thing hit with the lack of availability, with the jumbo loans, with the liquidity crisis that happened last March, that kind of took us a little time to come back. But since we are a little more removed from the rest of the valley, like Phoenix or Scottsdale, where people are more apt to want to be near freeways and stuff, because we are usually the last to feel it and we have a higher price point, we're usually also the last to come back. But that's also, it's not bad. In an even stable market, we would be at 90 days. So 72 days for a median days on market is actually not bad. And then jumbo loans became available again at the end of June, which allowed July to start to recover that kind of COVID blip that we had. So we're actually doing really well. So let's go from an overall kind of generalized approach and look at the different price points. So when we get to the $0 to $100,000 price point, there's nothing available, so we have no data. There's no listings of any kind in that price point, not land, not condos, not single family homes, nothing. So there's obviously nothing to be sold, so therefore we don't have any data. When we get to the $100,000 to $200,000 price range, that could be land or condos in Cave Creek and Carefree. You're looking at only a 1 month supply, so things are going to be white hot in that aspect. When we get to the $200,000 to $300,000 price range, we're looking at 0.6 months of supply, meaning 2/3 of a month. So not even a full month, just over half. So only a couple weeks of inventory there. And then the $300,000 to $500,000 price range is also equally a bloodbath for buyers at 0.72, or about 3 weeks of supply. When we get to the $500,000 to $700,000 price range, we're at just under 1 month at 0.94, so just under 4 weeks worth of inventory there. That means if you're looking to buy in those price ranges, there are not deals to be found. This is not the time to try to negotiate a lower price. It's time to put your best foot forward and try to make sure that if you don't want to wind up homeless, that you're making the best offer you possibly can. Now, when we get to the $700,000 to $1 million price range, we're still because jumbo loans finally came back, and that would be a price point pretty much anything over $638,000, or anybody who's financing more than $510,000 or $514,000. But we're actually at 2.72, so 2 3/4 of a month supply, less than 3 months. You're still well inside the seller's market. You will likely see 1 or 2 offers on a property as opposed to the 5, 10, or 12 that you see in Scottsdale or Phoenix or surrounding areas that are a little more popular and more highly populated. And then when we get to the $1 to $3 million mark, we are finally back inside the seller's market at 3.46 months of supply. We had a little blip with the COVID and the liquidity crisis with the jumbo loans. And so a few neighborhoods in our area, because they're higher end, had to kind of tap the brakes, but the jumbo lens came back. We made a very nice recovery. Now, the only thing going forward is we don't have any data for the $3 million price range or higher. We have 8 properties on the market in that price range, but 0 sales. That's not uncommon in this price range, so just keep that in mind. But it's something that if you're thinking of selling a home in that price range, you may have to do a little more data digging and go back several years to try to calculate the actual supply and demand. If you have any questions or are thinking of buying or selling a home, give me a call at 480-717-9405. I'd be happy to help, or you can visit my website at dustimartinrealtor.com.